Hello, it's Billy from Sanity Samples. In this contextual demo, we're going to take a deep dive into the score for the Haunted Strings 2 trailer, which makes extensive and exclusive use of the sounds found within Haunted Strings 2. So as you can see here, we have a bunch of the main articulations loaded up from the Twisted Soul Pont texture, which is the second articulation, Eerie and Twisted, which is a kind of blend of those two main articulations, which is also the main sound that loads when you first open this instrument. Then we head on to Ricochets, which has the built-in distortion at work for a far more aggressive, punchy sound. And then a clean version of the Ricochets, Psycho Screams, Staccatissimo, Colegnos, Erratic Trems, Tremsol Pont, and then a handful of the performance effects patch loaded up with our Behind the Bridge and Chatter Chaoses, Risers, and String Glisses. So as we start the trailer and we just kind of go over the main text, let's just have a little watch of what goes on here. Okay, so straight away there we can hear that there's some delicate light textures coming in of just long notes. These are the soul ponts and the erratic trems, which we can really hear the players, if I solo that off, the players really bouncing around between playing slow and woozy and fast and erratic. It's a texture that just keeps evolving the longer you kind of hold it down for, and as more harmonies introduced, we get more and more chaos in the mix. And then we fall into our first performance effect, which is our Chatter Chaos. This is one of the detuned Chatter Chaos sounds. This is just where the players basically played anything they wanted to without any regard for any of the other players, creating a chaotic kind of crowd feel, as if there's multiple conversations going on at the same time. Let's have a listen to that in isolation. So it starts to introduce the creepiness, the eerie kind of tension of this library. And then we head to our scratch riser. Let's have a listen to that in isolation. This is where we've muted off the strings and we're digging in hard with the bows and creating a kind of scratching, creaking sound. Okay, all of that in context builds us into our next section, which has some real pace to it with lots of short notes. Let's just take a listen to that intro in its entirety. As we land into the next section, we have a big heavy downbeat where we have distorted ricochets and colegnos, both landing at the same time. Let's take a listen to those. So the ricochet has distortion built in to the bed of the sound. Really, that's because the overall picture of the piece just wanted a little bit more definition there. Obviously in isolation there you can really hear the distortion. I can turn it off. That's the sound, but in the context of the mix, that distortion really allows that texture to just poke its head out with those harmonics poking through it a little bit more. This gives way to a staccatissimo leitmotif, very small little repetitive kind of ostinato that gets repeated through the instrument groups. Let's take a listen to that. Before it gives way to being a kind of driving force in the more melodic section of this particular cue. So let's have all of that in context now. Underneath that is just kind of basic beds. The erratic trems carry on The performance effects is just more chatter chaos sounds, just to create texture underneath this more kind of chaotic, fast-paced moment. Give way to a melody here with harmonies coming through in the form of the staccatos, with ricochets kind of giving off-balanced accents just to keep things feeling a little bit off-kilter and uncertain, with the eerie and twisted longs taking the main melody here. Back to our staccatissimo ostinato that plays on, and now we get some psycho scream accents at the end here. Our psycho screams really being a homage to the kind of Herman-esque work that we might have heard in kind of Hitchcock films, with a slide up from a semitone below the target pitch. This whole piece really being a homage to that style of writing. Okay, there was our psycho screams, and then underneath all of that we have the slow Gliss riser. If we take a listen to that, and that is accompanied by the actual video of that articulation being recorded live, so you can really see how the players dug in to that performance. Okay, and that all culminates into a kind of delicate pad of harmonic texture at the end with the long kind of drawn out textures. Let's take a listen to that ending one more time. And uncertain, ghostly textures to finish off. Okay, let's take one listen all the way through now with all of this in context. I'll leave the video playing off to the side here so we can see all of the MIDI information and watch the film. Here we go. Okay, that's been a close look at how to achieve this sort of texture with this library, scoring entirely with Haunted Strings 2, something of a horror cue here in the vein of a kind of Bernard Herrmann style of writing. Thanks for watching.